there, homeowners. My name is Swami Markina. I hope to be your go-to source for all things living in Woodbridge and the surrounding cities, real estate, and home ownership. Today, I really wanted to talk on a topic that I discuss on the daily, and that's how to become a first-time homeowner in Woodbridge and in Northern Virginia as a whole. I have a really good list just to keep me on track of everything that we're going to talk about today. But one of the main things is just kind of knowing the timeline that it takes to become a homeowner. In my opinion, or what I've observed with my clients, it takes about 2 to 3 months from the time that you speak to me for the first time until you get to move into your new home. And of course, this is going to vary depending on if you're coming out of state. It's going to vary on things like when you're choosing to start looking, if it's a high peak in the market or maybe a slower time, and also just how ready you are, how prepared you are for the process. And I think that's what this video is going to do, is help you start to get prepared. So once we start the process, you're really ready, you have all the tools that you need. So first, let me give you the timeline of it all. First step is going to be finding a real estate agent, somebody who's good, somebody who's going to communicate and ensure that we get to the goal that you have when it comes to what property and in what price range you're looking for. The simplest way to find a really good real estate agent, in my opinion, is ask a homeowner, friend, or family of yours that you trust who they use. Ask for a referral. Ask them how it went, what kind of treatment they received, and how they felt throughout the entire process. They'll be able to guide you. If for some reason you don't have that, then I suggest you look at Google reviews. I think this is really going to tell you who they are and how great they take care of their clients, that it incentivizes their clients to go and write a review for them. Step number 2 is going to be to get a pre-approval. Picking the right lender is going to be so important for you and I. 1, because you're going to work with them closely, but 2, because I'm going to work with them closely too. I usually like to recommend a couple of people only because I already have a good experience with them. I have their phone number, I can text them, I can reach out to them pretty easily. But if you have somebody that you work with, you can absolutely use them. How long does it take to get a pre-approval? Well, I think a good timeline is 1 to 3 days. Some of the things that you want to have ready in order to make it easier to get a quick pre-approval is the last 2 years of your tax returns, the last 2 years of your W-2s or your 1099, the last 2 bank statements, where the bank where you have your funds or the money that you're going to use to buy this house. Also, the last month's worth of pay stubs. If you have all of this ready to go, it's going to make it so much easier. I've seen some of my clients get pre-approved within hours. After you have the pre-approval in hand, then you should be sitting with your real estate agent for a buyer's consultation. What is a buyer's consultation? Well, this is when both of you sit together and you guys come up with a plan, a very strategic plan. How much you can afford, how much you want to spend monthly, what are your must versus your nice to have. You're going to be narrowing down what neighborhoods you're going to be looking at, the cities, what is within your budget, and honestly, what are your expectations of me, your real estate agent? What is my expectation of you as the buyer? This is when all of this gets talked about, so that once we're looking for the house, there are no questions. After this, then comes the fun part. This is when you start looking at houses. Now that we've strategically mapped out where we're looking and with what price range, then now we just go look at houses. This takes about 30 days. Once you find that house that you really love, we go into the next step. After that, it's offer and negotiation. So once we put in the offer and they are willing to consider us, there's plenty of negotiation, and that usually is a 3-day period. This is when I consistently on a daily basis call the agent that's selling the home. I tell them why we are the best clients for their clients, because at the end of the day, money isn't going to be the only deciding factor. Yes, we want to put in a competitive offer, but if you're willing to pay the most from anybody else, but your terms are very difficult, your terms are a little confusing to the agent on the other side, they're not going to pick you. They want a clean offer. They want somebody who understands what they're offering. They want somebody who is comfortable with it, and they want an agent that works well, somebody who is going to be able to communicate exactly what you want or exactly what you're offering to that seller. And I've seen that most of my offers get accepted because I'm on top of it. I speak to that agent and I sell the heck out of you. I ensure that they know, hey, this person is the best buyer and this is why. And so that takes about 3 days. Then once we get accepted, now we're under contract, we are going to go through an inspection, an appraisal, financing, all of that. This usually takes 30 days. This is when you're getting a home inspection to ensure that nothing serious is going on in your house. An appraisal, this appraisal will give you a number. If you offered $500,000 for a home, it'll say, yes, this home is worth $500,000. Or it could say, well, this house is only worth $490,000. This is when we go in, we negotiate, and we make sure to get the best deal for you and the seller. And then the financing. The pre-approval was just a quick look into your finances. The financing process that starts when you have a contract that is approved, that is when they're actually going out to banks and they are asking them to give you a loan. This is when they're actually telling you what interest rates are available to you, who can lend you this loan, what do they need, do they need any additional information. This is when all of that happens. That takes about 30 days, and then we schedule closing. Closing is a 1-day process. We do a final walkthrough in the morning. This is when we go and we make sure that the house that you put an offer in or that you're looking to buy looks exactly like it did when we saw it and wanted to put an offer. That everything's working correctly, that nothing's happened to the home, that a tree hasn't fallen on it. Just making sure that it looks exactly like what you remember it. Once we finish that, we go into the title company and you sign all of your paperwork. Quick 1-day procedure or 1-day process. And that's when we laugh and have a great time and we can kind of just relax because we're at the closing table. I know this feels like a lot, but it's okay. You can rewatch the video a couple of times just to get familiar with the timeline. Okay, let's talk about incentives now and what Virginia is doing to encourage and to help you become a first-time home buyer. I have them written down here because I don't want to forget any of them. My first and favorite one are the grants. Virginia Housing has programs for grants that help with closing cost assistance, and that is called the Closing Cost Assistance CCA grant, and also the Down Payment Assistance DPA grant. What's remarkable is that these grants are true gifts and they eliminate the money that you have to bring to closing for either a down payment or a closing cost. This just makes it so much more affordable and it allows you to speed up the process of buying a home because you don't necessarily have to wait to save down those amounts. The second incentives are the FHA and the VA loans. Virginia has a large military population, and so I love VA loans because it allows for military families to purchase a home with 0% down. This means that you can finance the entire loan and you can get yourself into a home even quicker. The other program that's available for non-military families in Northern Virginia is the FHA loan. What I like about the FHA loan is that you only have to bring about 3.5% of down payment, and your credit score doesn't necessarily have to be the highest to purchase. As long as you are at a 620 or above, you can start your home buying process. I also love that with these programs, the VA loan and the FHA loan, you can combine any of these grants. And so not only do you already have a low down payment, but if you are able to qualify for a grant, then you're pretty much bringing almost no money to the table. The third really great incentive is Virginia Housing Conventional and Plus Second Mortgage programs. This is when you're looking for flexibility and affordability, because these options really do help you get into a home quicker. And sometimes as quick as not needing any down payment or being able to roll your down payment into your loan. This is extremely helpful when you're already paying a lot of money for renting anyway. You might as well be paying this money towards your own home. I really hope that you found this video helpful, not only in knowing the timeline, but also knowing that Virginia is consistently looking for ways to help you become a first-time home buyer. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. You have my contact information. You can always reach out and ask me personally. I can really go through it a little bit more in detail if that's what you need, or I can clarify any of the things that you may have additional questions in. Thank you for listening. We'll talk next time.